You can create a business that is unique and meaningful to you. But how often do we get, distracted by the trending things, the in thing, the fad that's happening right now? And how might we ignore that and tune into what we have already to come up with unique business ideas? Now that sounds really exciting, isn't it? That is what Walt Disney did. Walt Disney was relentless and dedicated to tapping into his uniqueness, his unique potential. And his unique potential was his imagination and what he saw in it, the sketch, the cartoons that he created. And from that came the animations, and from that came, the company. And it continues to still live on. There's definitely one Disney character we've enjoyed watching. That is very, very inspiring, because there are people who have chosen to not get distracted from what's been, being told to us, that, oh, this is the most happening thing in the market right now, you know so if you create a business around it, you're going to, make a lot of money. Instead, how beautiful it would be to earn from a business that is meaningful to you, that comes from your uniqueness. Acknowledge what you have already to come up with unique business ideas. It's like opening up a treasure box, and looking at the gems and seeing which one really brings us that joy and spark, and seeing whether we can create a business from it or not. So this video helps you to come up with those unique creative ideas for business. But there is another video that shows you how you could validate these unique creative ideas and narrow it down to an idea that is wanted by people, and that they are willing to buy it. So there is a process of looking at this idea from people's perspective, and that will help us see whether this idea has a potential of bringing in the revenue, bringing in the money or not. I would highly recommend that, having watched this video, watch the other video where I show you how to narrow down those creative ideas and picking up one idea that is validated from a people's perspective, in order to know whether it can be a sustainable business or not. Having cleared that out, let's get on to the process. So the process is very, very simple. We are going to look at 5 areas of our lives, and then we are going to see whether there is a link between them or not. And then we are going to discover unique business opportunities, unique business ideas from these 5 areas that we have identified. Here's an example to show you the process. Take a blank sheet of paper, and on top of it, write your natural strengths, challenges you've overcome, your values, things you love, your current opportunities. So we've got our 5 areas listed here. Now let's look at each of these columns and answer a certain question in order to list the things we know about them. So, for example, your natural strengths. What are you naturally good at? So in my example, it would be, I am good at social skills. So I'll list that down. I am good with performing arts, singing, acting, dancing, things like that. So I'm going to write that down. I am good with imagination, imaginative exercises, things like that. So I'm going to write that down. Okay, now let's move on to the challenges you've overcome. So the question that you need to ask is, what problems have you faced in your life and how have you solved them? It need not be a huge challenge or a huge problem. It could be a very, very minuscule challenge or a problem, but you figured it out how to overcome it. What have you achieved in your life that you think that other people can also benefit from it? So I'll give you an example. There was a time when I was having a lot of muscle tension in my body. And I realized the reason I was having these, muscle tension was because I was sitting for a very, very long time on my desk and doing my computer work. And after a lot of struggle, I figured out a way, a routine, a work routine that could help me stay flexible and supple while I'm doing my work. Now, this is an example that shows okay, I was facing a certain problem in a certain area of my life, and how did I figure out a way out of it? And maybe there are other people who are also having the same issue where they are working in front of the computer for many hours and they may be feeling the same. And if I could share that with them, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't they want that? Because nobody wants to, have that tension in their body while they're working, right? So this is an example of a certain challenge that one has overcome. So write down what other things that you have achieved, what you have learned and developed, and that you could share with others. All right. Now let's move on to your values. So the question here to ask is, what matters to you? What do you believe in? So in this example, I would say that I believe in education, I believe in supporting, and I believe in creativity. That is something that is absolutely true to me. So I'm going to list that down. Now, the fourth thing is things you love. What are the things that you absolutely love doing or you absolutely love? So I love children, I love nature, I love food. What are the things that you love? Just list that down here and then move on to looking at the fifth column, which is your current opportunities. Consider these two questions. What opportunities do you realize that people are responding to today? When you look at the world today, what opportunities do you think people in general are responding to today? For example, when the world went on a lockdown, everybody responded to going virtual, going online, and having these online way of communicating. So I see that as an opportunity. Online teaching or sharing your knowledge via online technology is something that people, the world is saying yes to. So I would write that down. The second thing that I would consider asking is, what are people usually asking me for? What advice are they asking me for? What are the things that they are complimenting me for? So, in my example, it would be people asking me about storytelling, people asking me about how to do a certain yoga posture. When I look back and I see what people have generally asked me is during my workshops, storytelling workshops, I used to do kids storytelling workshop, in-person storytelling workshops, and there were parents who used to come and ask me how we could teach our children a certain language through storytelling, how we could improve their reading skills and things like that. My friends have always come and asked me about a certain yoga posture, recommendation for a certain lifestyle. So I could write them down, yoga postures and about storytelling on this list. Now I'm going to make another section and I'm going to write unique business idea. Now is the time to go through each of these ideas, these answers that I've written, and see whether there is a link, a certain link, a combination I could create as a unique business opportunity. For example, storytelling is something that people have asked me, and I love kids and I love interacting socially. So I could maybe come up with a certain business idea where I could maybe share a storytelling workshop for kids, social skills. I could use storytelling to teach kids social skills, right? Or soft skills. Another example could be I love doing yoga. People have asked me about yoga postures and things like that. I value education. I have in my life had this issue of muscle tension and things like that. So maybe I could come up with a yoga class to teach other professionals how to become flexible through yoga, through doing yoga postures while they are working. So it could be a very interesting twist to, doing yoga postures at work while working. So maybe that could be an interesting, unique business idea. As you can see, I've got two unique ideas here, but I could also continue to look at them and come up with even more unique business ideas. The point here is to acknowledge what you already have in order to come up with unique business ideas. The experiences you have, the values that you have, the things people already come and ask you for, the opportunities that are already in the market. Say, for example, the current opportunities are going online. So I could create an online workshop. People are going to be receptive to that because everybody is teaching online or interacting online, so it is a great opportunity there. This is a great way to come up with unique business ideas by looking into what you already have, acknowledging what you already have, just like opening up a treasure box and looking at the gems that are already in you and then making, a unique combination of it in order to come up with unique business ideas. Now, once again, this is a very, very primary creative stage, right? You need to verify these creative ideas for business, this unique idea for business from a people's perspective. That's how you could narrow it down whether this idea or other ideas is a viable choice or not. Viable as in, can it bring an earning opportunity, a sustainable earning opportunity for you or not? That you need to validate. And for that, there is another video that you can look at. The video is called Narrow Down on Online Business Ideas. Definitely check that out because I think it will give you a very good balance between creative thinking, which is this video, and critical thinking, which is that video. This is all I have for you in this video. My name is Deepti. Thank you so much for joining me today.